FIFER's Ultimate Realism Mod is back for FC25, and some say it is one of the best and most complete mods that you can download for career mode. So you know I had to get my hands on it to see what it has in store for us this year, and to see if it's actually worth it for you console players to join the dark side and convert to PC.
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
Unlocking new cosmetic items, expanded player and manager editors, adding team and competition licenses, new third, alternate, and fantasy.
I've got everything it comes with installed in my mod manager, ready to go, plus a couple of other modded extras I threw in because I can't resist. On its own, it adds up to 5 GB of fresh new content to the game. It's a package that promises to make the game as realistic as possible, so let's get into it. This Realism Mod is no joke. It's got a fresh new theme this year. It's looking all red. If you've got everything working, this is how it should be loading up. And we've replaced the bold fraud Pep Guardiola from FC24 and replaced him with the one and only Xabi Alonso, the poster boy for this mod in FC25. Loading up into the main menu, I don't want to connect to the EA servers. No, I don't want those online updates. There's only one thing you want to do. As soon as you load up into it, you want to click that little new folder icon in the top left hand corner, and that's going to let you load in the Realism Mod squad file. And once you see those Realism Mod squads, just click A, apply them to your game, and you should be good to go. Now this mod is in alpha right now. It's just dropped and I've got exclusive access to it, so there are more updates and features coming throughout the FC25 game cycle, so keep your eyes peeled. I'll be covering everything it has to offer. You have to pay for this mod, so no need to fear. I'll have a video with a complete mod list of all the best free realism mods that you can download, so if you don't want to spend any money and you just want to test out some freebies, your boy's got you covered. That video will be dropping probably next week, so make sure you turn on your notifications, subscribe to the channel down below, and drop the video a like if you're going to enjoy. Straight up, we've got some new menu shortcuts in the main menu, like that squad file folder icon, and more once you go into your customize area. Instead of create a player, edit real players is listed first in the menu, or if you just wanted to go there straight away, you could click the start button. You could click R1 to download the latest squads, the select button if you wanted to load a specific squad file, but we've already done that, so we're covered. However, something I always like to do is save squad files, and you get easy access just by clicking R2. Now that everything is installed and activated, you're going to be noticing a difference straight away. As soon as you load up a fresh new career save, the content is already there waiting for you. Whether you want to load up a new live start point save or just begin a fresh new season, the first major overhaul involves adding over 116 new manager faces to the game, and it also unlocks every single manager in the game. For example, we've got all of Germany, every single German division. Ligue 1 and Ligue 2 have every single manager available, and the English divisions, of course, have every single tier unlocked and available. Even down to the 4th tier, they've got every single manager 2D mini face. You could put a face to the name no matter who you pick. Now, where the manager mod comes in clutch is giving you access to teams that are unlicensed, because usually you don't get to select their real world managers, so it just gives you so many more options, so many more possibilities, with new head scans for the likes of Gasparini, Baroni, Fonseca, and Inzaghi. The manager outfits also get a cool little refresh, and one of my favorite little details are these like club specific items, like this slick Fiorentina tie and the Fiorentina specific club suit jackets. You could see this for countless of other teams like Inter. Inzaghi's wearing the little Inter Milan embroidered tie. Just those small little added details that go so hard, and you can notice every time I click on Vincent Kompany, he's wearing something different. So some managers can even just automatically change their outfit on the fly, like you can see in real time. Some managers are even assigned new shoes and sneakers, like these Adidas branded boots that obviously aren't in the base game. Those features are personified here with Heidenheim's manager Frank Schmidt, who's doing a career mode road to glory in real life, taking them from the 5th tier to European football. He's got a club licensed trainer top on, a new Apple Watch on the wrist, and some custom assigned redesigned Puma sneakers. He's got the ultimate drip. You can just witness all the unlocked managers, all the new faces in action. It is a beautiful sight to behold. And some of my favorite manager outfits and all the manager accessory customization is really shown on full display here in the Premier League, where you've got Mikel Arteta, where he doesn't opt for the Apple Watch, but he decides to go for that Rolex bling. Similar to Pep, where he's rocking a nice sleek custom watch and reps the new custom white Puma sneakers. We've got updates to Eddie Howe, Gary O'Neill, Nuno's back in the game. New boys Oliver Glasner and Fabian Hürzeler have been added, and that Brighton little puffer jacket goes hard. With the initials printed on the tracksuit, that is crazy work. Plus these custom trainer Nike sneakers just completes the entire fit. That is simply sensational. Chelsea's Enzo Maresca's new face scan, plus that realistic licensed Chelsea training gear. Ipswich's Kieran McKenna makes his debut, Ruben Amorim has his real face scan, and Ruud van Nistelrooy for Leicester is on the way, I'm sure of it, even though I've already showcased the mod for his face in another video. Ancelotti, the Don Carlo, has his trademark vest outfit in game. Antonio Conte is another one with one of these classic looks. Another one of these managers who loves repping that rollie, and even a club branded specific Emporio Armani polo. Not gonna lie, that is classy alongside his very own personal sneakers, and now he's got a new Apple smartwatch. The manager's outfit mod has just hit a new level this year. Now that you're aware of all the cosmetic and accessory changes, here are some of my favorite manager club combos that are usually hidden in the main game, like Wayne Rooney at Plymouth Argyle, with his real custom game face scan and everything. That's like up to date from real life. It's not just his icon face scan from the game. He's got the hair transplant, the ginger beard, the mean look. He's even got those greys growing in the middle of it. Those are the kind of realistic details that I absolutely love. In Ligue 1, you've got everyone's favorite ginger, Will Steele. You've got a couple more new real manager faces. Well, much more than you're used to anyway. One of my favorite new scans though is going to be this guy, Didier Digard, managing Le Havre. I mean, just take a look at this absolute unit. Do I need to say anything else? Might I add, you also have the entire wardrobe of managerial clothing to apply to your manager and just dress them out in whatever crazy drip you want them to wear. You could even go shirtless with this absolute hunk. He looks like he should be the main character of God of War or something. Nevertheless, all the cosmetic freedoms are in the palm of your hands, just like we've been used to ever since FC25 mods have dropped. I don't understand how some people play without this stuff. It is just essential at this point. Manager customization is one of my favorite parts of career mode, and the Realism Mod makes it even better. And I haven't even covered the outer top section yet. Some of my favorite new additions, especially when you're in the winter months, it's got to be these big, long trench coats, these Arsene Wenger-esque puffer jackets that you can equip for the winter months, and obviously all the Volta assets, the legacy files from over the years. Make a political statement or wear a Dua Lipa jersey. The choice is yours. Like, once you have all this power available to you, once all these options are unlocked, you can never go back. That's not even including all the inner bottoms, the outer bottoms, all the shorts and long pants. Over 1,000 new cosmetic additions that completely revolutionize manager customization. And we're not even done there yet with the new manager faces. The Bundesliga gets some supreme treatment, even down in Bundesliga 2, where you could use the World Cup top goal scorer Miroslav Klose, the German legend currently in charge of Nuremberg in the second tier. In the Netherlands, the Eredivisie have every single manager unlocked, some with the new faces ready for the taking. However, one of my favorites is actually Robin van Persie coaching at Herenveen. I didn't even know this was a thing until I saw it in the game. Oh, and I also forgot you could change your coach's gender, just in case you were into that kind of stuff. And the rest of the world category has some old favorites added back in, like Gennaro Gattuso. Even some Saudi managers get thrown some love with new game faces like Jorge Jesus and French legend Laurent Blanc. Completely forgot Stefano Pioli's managing Al Nassr. How did that one slip through the cracks? Ball knowledge on my behalf. Back in the big leagues now, and La Liga nearly has every single manager with an actual game face scan, including Hansi Flick. FC25 did him dirty with that generic generic face scan, and he's even repping that cool little Apple smartwatch. It must be a German thing. Hey, these are some cool little shoe details I haven't seen before. That's why the more you dig deep, the more you play, the more new things you're gonna find. And that's why this mod is such a blast to explore. The major clubs in Turkey have pretty much their managers in the game, like Galatasaray's boss Giovanni van Bronckhorst. That brings back memories. Even over here in the MLS. Not that there are many new faces, the only ones here are John Herdman at Toronto and Columbus Crew's Wilfred Nancy. However, the beauty of this mod is that every single manager in the game is unlocked. Selecting a real manager has never looked better. Now, the focus is not only on manager career, but player career also gets some quality of life improvements and much needed updates. Because even though EA added the ability to play as an icon, only in player career of course, for some reason they thought it was a great idea to limit what icons you could use and have it be like a limited time experience where only certain icons and players are available at a certain time. It's really a convoluted mess. It doesn't need to be that complicated. Just have every icon available to play, or just release them all slowly. Don't like add some, remove more. It's just typical EA being EA. But what the Realism Mod does gives you access to 55 icons to use in this player career mode list. It unlocks them straight from the jump. You don't have to wait on updates. You don't have to wait for EA to release them. For some of these guys, like, they're already in the game code. They're in-game screenshots and everything. It's just EA holding them hostage so that they can slowly drip feed them throughout the entire game cycle. So we're never going to get the entire roster added to the game. And look at the types of players it gives you. Samuel Eto'o, Van Nistelrooy, Shevchenko, Ronaldinho, Drogba, Raul, Fernando Torres, Rooney, Hernandez. And it probably gives you a little bit of an insight into who they're adding in future updates. But if you've got the Realism Mod, you already have all the icons that they're planning on bringing in. So you don't need to stress. You don't need to worry. They're not on a time limit. You can choose them freely and start up a new career mode. You've got Davor Suker, Laudrup, George Best for all the Manchester United fans. We've got a couple women icons thrown in the mix. Del Piero, Patrick Kluivert, Larson. Closer, both in manager career and player career. Some top tier ballers like Eusebio, Garincha. These are some serious icons EA are holding close to their chest, and we've just got them all here in a continuous list. Van Persie, Puskás, Jarzinho, Mia Hamm, and Prince to end off the list. It's just a goated feature. Adds to the replay value of the game. It lets you be so much more powerful with all these icons at your disposal, and you don't have to worry about any of them being removed anytime soon. As long as you have this Realism Mod installed, you're going to have free access. With over 500 new face scans added, it would be rude of me not to showcase any and have some of this freshly scanned talent on full display, like Kenan Yildiz, the Turkish superstar at Juve, alongside his Wonderkid teammates like Nicolo Savona. Even Samuel Mbangula's looking fresh with a new scanned update. The headband, the dreads and everything. This mod has got it spot on. Speaking of Wonderkids, at Spurs, we've got the teenage talent Mikey Moore. His game face scan is looking absolutely picture perfect here in FC 25, and there are way more like Lucas Bergvall, Archie Gray, even 59 rated Alfie Dorrington. We have young guns from the United Academy like Toby Collier and high potential left back Harry Amas. Amad Diallo's finally been shown some love. The high potential Wonderkids get that realistic treatment served up on a silver platter. This Realism Mod takes care of business of players like Franco Mastantuono, the teenage super talent at River. We won't be seeing his game face scan in career mode anytime soon. One of my many new favorites involve the young Norwegian on the rise Antonio Nusa at RB Leipzig. That was added in by EA in this new update, but players who join him like Arthur Vermeeren and Owe Druago get sorted out with this mod. We've got two of the championship's best rising stars at the moment, the high potential hidden gem Chris Rigg and Jude's brother Job, both at Sunderland. If you know anything about the licensing situation, you know we are cooked when it comes to new content for both Inter, Milan, Lazio, and that's where the mod comes in clutch, where it can add new game face scans for the likes of Tijani Reinders, who's lighting up Serie A at the moment, Terracciano, Pavlovic, their new summer signing. They've even got Noah Okafor. Inter get the likes of Aslani, Carlos Augusto, and Buchanan, and one of the most underrated defenders, Bisek, added. Back on the Wonderkid hype train, and we've got brand new face scans for Giovanni Quenda at Sporting, 88 potential, an extremely hyped winger at the moment, and his teammate Goncalo Ignacio. Don't forget Ziomanze raid to Bast, and a big new face update for the one and only Victor Gyökeres. And speaking of face update, this Realism mod does a really good job giving updates to players that deserve it, like Stefan El Shaarawy, who's had the same face scan since FIFA 14. That is over 10 years of EA not being bothered to change his face. It is surpassed to Stegen levels. This is damn right disrespect. Another one of my favorite updates is João Pedro, because it actually matches his 2D mini face. And Julian Araujo, because they've added in his pink hair that again matches his profile picture, and he's had a little attention to detail that we can't get enough of. And fair play, they've even given a face update to Anthony. Does he deserve it? Probably not, but if you want to revive his career, he's actually looking way more realistic. For all you gooners out there, the Academy products Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri are both looking way more lifelike and realistic with their new face scans. Look, I could be yapping on for days. There are hundreds of changes to get through. So let's move on to the next segment, which is all about player tattoos. With over 700 new tattoo updates assigned to players, this right here's levels of detail EA would never go into. Player-specific tattoos are such a highly requested feature. Not only do they make sure that the arms are covered, but both head and neck tattoos are all realistic and player-specific. For example, now here's where the modders just outdo EA, because EA just gave Lucas Beraldo a real face scan in game. However, they didn't fit him out with all of his personal tattoos. They didn't complete the package. Same goes for the likes of Bradley Barcola. Like, I didn't even know Brentford's goalkeeper Flecken had tattoos on him until now. Wonderkids like Jack Clark at Ipswich, Brighton's Julio Incisco, and way more. Don't you worry, they've got the latest leg tattoos covered as well. Plus, way more unique tattoos that you'll notice throughout your playthrough. One of my personal faves is Pablo Barrios, just because they're so specific and so random, and they're all on one arm. This mod also has you covered when it comes to all kinds of player accessories. I'm talking new and updated little mini photos for every single kind of white tape, sweatband, wrist taping, rubber bands, long tape, just giving that extra little level of realistic detail. Gripper socks are also included with the Realism mod, so you've got all kinds of ankle tapes that are converted into gripper socks. And when it comes to player boots, EA recently added the new Endrick New Balance green little colorway. That's been a new shoe added to the base game, but what this mod does is not only give you new boots, but adds back legacy boots that were in, you know, FC 24, FIFA 23, and just gives you way more of an extended catalog to play through, especially over the last 3-4 seasons. And it's unlocked all those weird fantasy glow-in-the-dark LED Volta boots that were in the game for a couple of years. Most of these player boots you're going to recognize. They've added back in some removed boots, and they've extended the catalog tenfold. The only thing it doesn't provide you with is the retro boots, but that is most definitely coming at a later date. This just gives you all the new boot versions over the last 3-4 seasons or so, because, you know, some players still wear some old boots. Not every single player is wearing the most up-to-date recent boots of the current campaign. Some like to throw it back, some like to wear different boots every week, and you get that power right here with the Realism mod, adding in some old classic favorites. Oh, look at me, I'm wrong again. It looks like there are some retro boots added into the catalog. Yeah, don't ever doubt the Realism mod, people. It is just going to shut you up straight away. Look how small the little scroller thing on the bottom is. We are moving through them at light speed. Here are some more random Volta special edition boots that are locked away in the game code. We've got a wide New Balance variety. We have got, again, these Volta boots just don't seem to go away. There are heaps of them. All these, I think, are from FC 24 or FIFA 23. So it's brought back a lot of familiar modern day favorites. And some of these fantasy Volta boots actually go kind of hard. Again, the boot nerds take a massive W. The Realism mod definitely comes through for you and fulfills its promises. I mean, we've got like Kaká special edition Orlando City Adidas boots here. This is crazy work, people, and especially if you're a my player career mode type of guy. The customization options are literally endless. I'm still scrolling here. I'm trying to get through them as fast as possible. Okay, the retro boots are still standing on business over here. This mod mainly focuses on the modern day classics for now. Same goes for goalkeeper gloves. I'm not particularly well versed in the goalkeeper catalog, but the mods restored some of the generic defaults, added mini photos for every single glove, and added back in some modern day classics, just like it did with the boots. A lot more variety, and these mods add them in quicker than EA ever could. What's even even better is that they get updated continuously throughout the season. So you're going to be seeing even more the further down the line we get with FC25. These cosmetic mods are going to get even better. Isn't that right, Cody? Isn't that right?
Hello, bozo.
The Realism Mod claims that the finger tape texture has been improved. Not that you can apply it to any players, just some players have some finger tape on them, some don't. It's a very small realistic detail that barely anyone takes notice of, and you can't really customize it whatsoever. I'm not even sure how many people actually know it's in the game. Alright, so quick update, literally midway through editing this video, a new version of the Realism Mod dropped, alongside a fresh new squad update to coincide with the roster changes that EA put out. We are on Realism Mod 1.0 Alpha version 9, fully up to date as of the 12th of December, and a major new feature, the add-on that has been brought in with this update is the extended choice mod when it comes to editing real player faces or even real manager faces. Now it's implemented into the Realism Mod package. When I showcased it last time out, I had a bunch of you lads asking me how you actually properly get it working. Step 1, you need the live editor. Click F9 on the keyboard and it should pop up. The player we want to edit is Asensio at Real Madrid. On his player profile, you want to go all the way to the end, click on other, and then we have face poser preset. You want to change that to 7. Up in the top left, click on player, hit save, click on the player you want to edit. They may have some of their hairstyle changed already. No need to fear, just scroll on over to the head section, flick your way to hair. Now you have free reign to select whatever hairstyle you want. If you want to give him a little bit more of an old school look, or just fit him out with something crazy, it's all possible now with the extended choice player editing, and it also works on players who have a new game face scan with the Realism Mod, like a Conceição, Kenan Yildiz, or even Mbangula. We just type up his name in the live editor. That's our man. Here we are at his profile. Click on other again. We change the face poser preset to 7, and now we can go in and give him a little bit of a haircut. I hate to take off his braids and ruin that bandana look, but it's just to showcase the power of what this small little add-on can bring to your player customization experience. It even works with facial hair. Like, how much sexier would Calafiori look if the Italian stallion was rocking a beard? Nah, this ain't fair, Ricardo. Save some pussy for the rest of us, brother. Now, no matter what team or manager you choose for career mode, there are going to be some things you notice straight away before you even hop into a new game, and that is that you can change the new career mode settings EA added to FC25 on the fly. Mid-career mode saves, you get literally everything unlocked. So if you accidentally started your save with harsh board expectations, you could put that sucker down to no sacking. You can change the currency mid-game, which was actually a feature back on like FIFER 07 manager career mode. Let's just change it up to euros. You'd actually turn international job offers on or off. Maybe you forgot to turn off player scouting and you can just do it straight away, instantly, with the click of a button. Why don't EA let you do this, man? It's such a simple thing. Or give myself a transfer embargo mid-season. So let's click advanced, confirm the changes, and see if they actually apply. I turned off scouting. So yeah, there's no more GTN scouts or report. And over in the currency, we changed it, and bam, that change has been successful. And if you're not satisfied with your players' growth, you can bump them both up to fast or slow them down as you please. Let's just turn scouting back on just to see it pop up in the menu. I need the confirmation to be official, and bam, yeah, just like that, we've got the GTN scouts back. It is magical and something that should definitely be in the base game. Like, this is just the ultimate customization, and it's actually cool to see your setting changes apply in real time. Another small feature that goes unnoticed is the real stadium name update. So that's another crucial detail that you're going to see throughout your career mode experience. We've got real stadium names applied everywhere, like Frosinone. We've got the Stadio Benito Stirpe instead of the Stadion Neder. All those default names have been removed, and you know, Bayern Munich, they're not at Sanderson Park anymore. The name gets updated to Allianz Arena. Even if you're managing in, I don't know, somewhere random like India, going down to 1-star Kerala Blasters, there's their real stadium name added to the database, the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in Kochi. Real world stadium names and updates are applied, and the realism, attention to detail is quite frightening, especially when you're in a league like Serie A where most of the stadium names are generic. These real stadium names are going to make your experience feel a little bit more legit. Barcelona's Camp Nou has been removed from FIFA for a while now. Like, I think the last game was FIFA 16. They've been at El Libertador ever since, but don't you worry, the Realism Mod has fixed it up with its brand new name. And that goes for every single team in the game, by the way. EA. So no matter where you're playing, you're going to feel the difference. And it also expands your footballing knowledge. Like, where does Santa Clara play in Portugal? They play at the Estadio de São Miguel. The more you know. The Realism Mod also makes sure that every single league, cup, competition, playoff tournaments, and everything in between are officially licensed with the proper branding, and everything is fully up to date. You're not going to see any generic logos. It also reigns true for the international competitions in career mode, like the Euros. Given the tournament logo is from 2024, at least you're not stuck with the EA generic Men's European Cup. And you already know you're sorted for the FIFA World Cup in 2026 in America with the official tournament logo, with the official trophy. You even get the luxury of licensed pre-season tournaments that replaces all the generic branding. They've all been completely removed and rebranded. We've got the International Champions Cup, the ICC, the Audi Cup, and the Torneos de Verano. You not only get the official name, but the official logo and branding. Also more club-specific pre-season tournaments, like if you're managing Arsenal, you're going to get offered the Emirates Cup. It really is such a cool touch, considering EA have barely changed up pre-season tournaments. No matter where you're managing, you are going to feel the difference 1000%. Another old school feature that the Realism Mod brings back is the OG injury list. Removed from the game in FIFA 18 for God knows what reason, but I've been calling back for it ever since. Like, this is a must-have feature that needs to return, because when you start up a live start points career save, there are so many injuries for every single team, and not only can you see the status of your players out right now, but every single team in the competition, every team in the league. Tottenham are going through a bloody injury crisis at the moment, but yeah, every club, they've got their trials and tribulations. They have their players unfit. It's hit that point of the season where players start to drop like flies. Teams have a minimum of 2-3 players out on the medical table, and it's starting to become a real problem, but you can just see the data laid out for you entirely, and especially with the live start points, it's accurate, realistic data displayed, so you can keep track of everything that's going on, not just in your career save, but in world football. So I've actually got exclusive access to this feature because it's kind of in beta alpha at the moment. You have to click into your My Career section, and then you can access the injury list feature. So it's still low-key a work in progress, and EA will probably never add it back to the game. So we have to rely on the clutch modders to bring it back. Now, another attention to detail type touch is the inclusion of extra cup competitions and European kit number fonts that multiple teams have. So when you're playing in the Carabao Cup Community Shield, a lot of clubs actually have different number fonts. They have custom kit fonts. The Realism Mod does its best to add as many new kit cup fonts as possible. Right now, you're going to see both Aston Villa and Newcastle, but this is just their custom club font whenever they're playing games outside of the Premier League. But there's something retro yet modern about that style. For me, in combination with that slick third kit, it goes unbelievably hard, and it's definitely superior to that Premier League kit font. I know I've been glazing Newcastle, but Aston Villa's is also fire, I'm not gonna lie. It's just so refreshing to see different kit fonts at the back of the jersey. Now, you'd be surprised with the number of big clubs that don't actually have their extra cup competition font in the base game, and that includes both Arsenal and Manchester United, believe it or not. So with the Realism Mod set to receive multiple updates throughout the year, the more complete and more realistic this mod is going to become. Yeah, EA might add new jerseys and fourth kits, alternate kits to the game even, but new fonts for cup competitions, there ain't no way they're doing that. There's just too much work for them. They don't go into that level of detail anymore. This small attention to detail is really what sets this mod apart, and honestly takes it up a level for all career mode players, because seeing these extra cup kit fonts added is such a breath of fresh air. Even Spurs get that good treatment. Dominic Solanke looks like he's been stretched off, but their font isn't too bad either. Chelsea's just kind of stock standard. Spurs have done it right, especially when it gets combined with these third kits and away shirts. The different color combos kind of make it all pop. And not only that for the numbers, but you get different font when it comes to the last name printed on the shirts too. That was a complete oversight by me. In this case, Spurs have a complete makeover with everything. As much as I hate to admit it, Liverpool's cup competition font looks very nice indeed. Exceptional. It just passes the vibe check immediately. Although PSG have gone something for completely different in terms of the style. Like, it's got a little bit of a crayon drawn on feel. An experimental look in terms of the number especially. It's got that painted on effect and kind of fits the whole vibe of what they're going for this season, especially when you think pink of their home shirt. These effects don't just take place in England. You'd be surprised with how many clubs actually have alternate kit fonts. And you can't deny it, the more that get added, the better, because it just elevates the kit to a brand new level and gives it a whole new look. Plus, of course, adds to the realism factor, which we all love. The more you play, the more you're going to find out, and the more you're going to discover. Another fun feature the Realism Mod lets you have access to is being able to start a fresh new live start points career mode without having to download the latest squads. So you could load up the Realism Mod squad file, click on live start points, and you automatically get thrown in. You won't lose any of the tattoo updates, any of the face scans, manager faces. We still have all of the new managers and all the cosmetic updates, all the face scan updates, all the new head models, graphical updates, and cosmetic changes will be intact. It bypasses the section where you have to download the latest squads, because in that case you'll be stuck with the generic EA default settings, so you don't want that. For example, Mikey Moore, his Wonderkid face scan is in the game, so you don't have to worry about the Realism face mod updates being overwritten and reset. It makes the Realism Mod compatible with live start points, which again just opens up the replay value, enhances your career mode experience because you've just had the shackles taken off. You're not restricted to one certain type of career save, and the Realism Mod just applies to everything. Now, when it comes to match day, the Realism Mod promises to improve the AI team selection. So right now we're with Ipswich, embroidered in a relegation battle, and our game right now is with title challengers Arsenal. Usually in base game vanilla FC 25, they'd rest some players, they might swap and interchange, and they'd have some of their best players on the bench, considering we are a lower tiered team. However, they're pretty much starting all their big players, and they're playing at home. You already know Mikel Arteta wouldn't bench his best stars. It's pivotal for Arsenal, who are aiming for the title, to get all 3 points on every single occasion. The AI team selection algorithm model has been adjusted and tweaked, so you won't see random academy talents or third string team players in the starting lineup. And look, their predicted lineup is subject to change on match day. This can't be perfect, but look, in general, you're going to be seeing the entire match day squad selected. It's going to be extremely realistic no matter what opposition they're facing. It's going to be the best of the best, their strongest starting players. Chelsea currently somehow involved in a little bit of a title charge, the underdogs in the title race, if you will, up against 17th place Ipswich, and this AI team selection is going to make sure the best of the best are starting. They ain't going to play their B team against us. However, with this Realism Mod applied, you're going to see way more accurate and realistic match lineups for every single team in the league and the division. High-rising Chelsea's matchday squad is pretty much comprised of every single first team player. Point in case, Man City at home. Again, they're not in the best of form, so they're going to need all the points they can get. They aren't resting on their laurels whatsoever. All the crucial first team players, either on the pitch or on the bench, players that actually get minutes and start in real life, will be reflected in your career mode saves. And the key players for the major clubs won't be spared as Pep Guardiola looks over the pitch menacingly. Another quick game day feature is that on match day, the Realism Mod actually unlocks 4 different game camera angles when you're observing the match in the tactical view. Obviously, you've got this default sideline view that always happens, but once you keep clicking square or X, I believe we have Jib on pitch that is unlocked for us to use, where you get this nice little sideline view. I feel like I'm a ball boy or something on the side of the pitch, just observing the game from afar. The next one involved is the FIFER Cam Manager Home. So right now we're looking at the tactical view from the other end, or from Mikel Arteta's view in the Arsenal dugout. Maybe if you want to get a better view of your team attacking or defending and you can't quite see it from your manager's dugout, you can switch it across, see both of the manager's reactions on the sideline, not just yours. And then the other one is the manager cam away, which is your manager cam. So there's a couple more camera angles for you to play around with. You can cause a mini earthquake in the goals depending on how many camera angles you change. That's a fun little feature I didn't know about. Nevertheless, just gives you a couple more tactical view camera angle options if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, you can get real close and personal with these other camera angles that you've unlocked. You have more of a scenic view of that stadium infrastructure that you don't usually get to have if you're just focusing on the pitch and the players. In the base game of FC 25 Team Anthem jackets and their pre-game outfits. Most of them are generic and not reflective of real life whatsoever. Aston Villa have one of my favorite pre-match jackets with that Adidas branded 3-line coded simple little match jacket, and Man City get that full real world treatment here. Also United have a nice little comfy jacket going on. It's those finer details and those small little realistic touches that I think the career mode community really appreciates, and this Realism mod absolutely knocks it out the park. You get to see all kinds of styles on display, like this Man City one. It's more of a zip up rain jacket, windbreaker-esque theme. Meanwhile, the United one is more of a comfy little hoodie jacket. You get to see all kinds of styles and different team wear on display, especially for the career mode experience where you want to see the pre-match lineups and all the pre-match build-up hype. It's going to enhance your experience like you won't believe, especially if you're in the Prem, because most of the top tier clubs have been gifted with their pre-match outfits, so you're going to be getting that experience, especially in the top 5 leagues. There are over 80 team outfits added to career mode and to the game in general, so you can have fun discovering them all within your own playthroughs. Tottenham have a couple of cold ones on offer, and Chelsea's Anthem jacket is actually updated as of this season with the current sponsor and everything. So there are some teams that are absolutely loving life with this Realism mod, and I'm sure those cold European nights away or those winter nights at Stoke with the snow and the rain dropping down is going to be that much more immersive. And just look at the team training and warm-up gear. It's so much more refreshing instead of seeing those default EA generic training jackets that just look so boring. Now, another area of your match day experience that gets an overhaul is your official match ball selection. When you come down through to the settings and come to select the ball you want, what the Realism mod actually does is add back in some removed match balls, some ultimate team match balls, some Volta balls. I know I'm saying balls a lot right now, but hear me out. It opens you up to so many other options, which include the alien ball. Like, I don't know where this came from. It's probably Ultimate Team or Volta from over the years. We've got a ball of yarn, a beach ball, a birthday cake themed ball, a bling ball, whatever that's supposed to mean. We've got a bowling ball. If you want to break all of your players' feet and have them all out with foot injuries, there's your go-to. The champions ball, that's probably something to do with Ultimate Team. We've got chemistry heroes. Yeah, you're starting to see all these random Ultimate Team balls that were added in for no reason whatsoever. There is no marketplace or actual catalog for the offline players to unlock them like we had back in the day with the catalog. And then we switch up to a few different themes, a few different camos. You've got a disco ball to play with, a donut. Like, yeah, this isn't realistic whatsoever, but you know, it unlocks items and game files that are hidden away in the code, and it just lets us have at it, lets us customize our experience down to all these different types of match balls. Like Frosty, there are now hundreds of different match balls to play with. I am losing count. We've got an icons ball, Halloween themed ball. You can change it up depending on what time of the year it is. Who is responsible for this? What's going on over there? Similar to the boots and gloves, most of these cosmetic items are hidden away from us. It is the festive period at the end of the day. However, another element that this FIFER Realism mod includes is a brand new match day lineup graphic alongside all of the new and accurate up-to-date scoreboards for pretty much every single league in the game. The scoreboards and broadcast packages have had a little bit of a makeover, an improvement. I've shown these off in a mods video before. However, it's the lineup graphic and little pop-up that really comes to life in this second enhancement of the scoreboards mod, and literally every single pack of every single league. This is the accurate Serie A match day experience in accordance to this season, because EA, despite having the exclusive license, haven't actually updated the Serie A or League One broadcast packages, so the modders have had to come through and give a little refresh to the situation as Frosty's poor innocent head gets chipped over Di Gregorio. This is another key example of the match day lineup graphics and just mods in general being updated upon further release. It's one of my favorite and low-key subtle changes about the scoreboard mod, and this is why it's considered the best all-in-one Realism mod, because all these scoreboards and different add-ons for different leagues is included in the one Realism mod pack. Here's how the new French broadcast package Liga McDonald's, it's had a little makeover over the summer. Yeah, EA have done nothing to change it, so again, the modders have to step in and make it right. What's this lineup animation looking like? That's more like it. It is looking pristine, clear cut and beautiful, just how it would come across when you're watching it on TV. And in the base game, EA are yet to add this in. It's still the same package from FC24. They haven't given it the rebrand and refresh it deserves. Even to minor cup competitions that EA have never really paid attention to over the years, like the Copa del Rey and the Community Shield final, you get a beautiful display of the pre-match lineup animation, and honestly, most of the time is an absolute marvel to look at because it's been brought to life and we haven't seen it in-game since like FIFA 17 or FIFA 18. I swear we used to have the FA Cup Community Shield broadcast package in the past, but for one reason or another, it has just slipped away from EA, or they've just completely forgot about it. In this case, they just haven't got the Copa del Rey license for some reason. I mean, just look how stunning and beautiful these pre-match lineup animations are. I know I'm yapping on, but seriously, this is the care and level of detail that EA won't even bother to ever put into the base game. So just soak it up, drink it in, because this stuff is only possible with the mods. This Realism Mod also provides a couple of quality of life enhancements, including 2 new tactical player roles and 17 new player focuses when it comes to the FCIQ side of the game. And there is way more to come. For now, the main areas of focus including CDMs, who can also have the role of a wide half, a defensive midfielder charged with marking and covering the sides of the pitch when needed. Static playmaker was actually the second player role that was added before Title Update 6 dropped, but then EA decided to put in Classic 10 as a new player role, and now it's not in this current build of the Realism Mod. So maybe, who knows, it'll make a return in a future update. As a static playmaker is an advanced playmaker who conserves energy out of possession, rarely pressing or tracking back. Positioned in the final third, they demand the ball to feet, using their vision and technique to unlock defenses with the final pass. And it just opens you up to a few more playstyles, tactics, and strategies that you can deploy. If you really want to get specific with it, you can, because there is a bunch of new combinations of player roles and player focuses in order to pinpoint your tactic and pinpoint your playstyle. But it also carries over when you check in on your squad training and development plans. For the CDMs especially, you can train them into that new player role of being a wide half, as opposed to a center half, which focuses a little bit more on their defensive attributes. The wide half kind of focuses on every single category besides shooting. So the further into the FC25 game cycle we go, the more not only player roles we're going to have, but the more development plans we get to use and test out whilst training. If you so happen to be managing in a league which doesn't have any fancy backgrounds or licensed league graphics on match day, listen up, I've got good news for you, because the licensed calendar backgrounds are back for FC25, and that includes leagues like the Turkish Super League, which provides a beautiful little refresh in the calendar and gives it that nice little colourful themed flavour. Same goes for the Eredivisie, where the Dutch get a nice little blue and red branding theme update. This mostly comes alive in Italy because, you know, Serie A and Serie B don't have a career mode licensed background in the menus, but over here, down in Serie B, we've got the iconic green flare popping off, and it just looks so vibrant in the calendar. I honestly don't understand why EA haven't given Serie A the exact same treatment that they've given all the other licensed leagues, because come on, they have the exclusive license, haven't given them a career mode menu background, haven't updated the calendar game graphics. They are seriously lacking. That's where the mods come in clutch. As the championship look in second tier in England, and yeah, that is actually sleek. I like that little golden tone. It just makes everything look so much more aesthetically pleasing, doesn't it? I'm 100% certain that Portugal's got one. Yeah, that red and white doesn't get old. This mod has all bases covered, I swear. Even if you're managing over in Asia, here in Korea, you've got updated calendar graphics in the menu. What's Saudi got going for it? Is it worth doing a career mode here? And yeah, I guess that's kind of classy. Very simplistic, very clean. How does Belgium fancy? The Pro League. Oof, that's got to be one of my favorite ones so far. That little purple and red vibe. It's just those little touches that go a long way. You get the picture. Now, as much as club football is in the main spotlight when it comes comes to all the changes with this realism mod, this one is for my international management enjoyers. Because when it comes to major international cup finals, like your World Cup finals and Euro Cups, there is promised to be better stadium assignment. And let me show you what I mean. Usually when you play an international tournament final, or just international tournaments in general, you get set up with one of the worst generic stadiums ever. The vibes are off, it just doesn't fit. And right now, we're in 2026, the World Cup final. You guessed it, we are in America to play it out. We're in the host nation, the real World Cup trophy is set. We've got the pinpoint accurate location where it's all going down. The actual World Cup final is happening in New Jersey, New York or something, but that stadium actually isn't in FIFA. And I guess it just assigned the most, prestigious looking stadium, the most enhanced and up-to-date arena available, instead of those generic default stadiums that have the running track around them. They weren't fit for World Cup finals. International management gets shown some love because it's been ignored for so many years in career mode. And what you've also been seeing in the background whilst I've loaded into stadiums of new ad boards on the sideline. There's no more generic EA ads or them plugging their social medias on the sideline. It's all up-to-date licensed sponsors for each specific stadium you visit, and depending on what tournament, depending on what team you're managing, there are all different kinds of ads and different transitions on the sideline. You won't see a generic EA ad on the sideline, and we're at the World Cup, you're gonna see FIFA ads there, and it just makes the experience feel a whole lot more legit. You'll see actual tournament sponsors and real world branding instead of, EA Sports on the sideline, Ultimate Team ads, God forbid. So you're never gonna see the same old ads and transitions on the sidelines. Stadium graphics get an entire new refresh and overhaul. It's actually amazing to watch it click into gear and all come together on match day. Not to mention over 3,000 new scarves and banners updated, not only for the club teams, but for the national teams too. Pretty much every single squad in the game, they all get updated and real world artworks, flags, banners, fan tifos, all on the sideline in action. This feature is actually revolutionary because it's flags and banners that you'll see in real life from different fan groups, and now you get to see them activated in the stadium. I'm a big fan, especially when the camera pans towards them and the fans are doing their thing in the stands. I don't think you lads understand the scope and the magnitude that this stadium GFX actually just impacts the entire game. No matter what club you support, you are going to see the impact and the difference made on match day. It brings the match day experience to life because even my boys, Frosinone and Serie B, we have our very own custom real world banners and scarves on display. So 9 times out of 10, your team is going to be sorted. Say goodbye to the generic, default, boring, basic game flags. It is time for a real world update. This mod was the most highly requested and highly commented on feature in my mod showcase video, the first one at least, and makes the matchday experience so much more personal, especially if you're a smaller club. Bruh, this is crazy, man. I saw some of these flags and banners at the stadium in real life last summer. If both Frosinone and Bari are covered, I can imagine pretty much every single team in the database in the game have this treatment and have these real attention to detail type features applied. It's high-key one of my favorite new features when it comes to the Realism Mod package as a whole. You get to see the real-world fan culture and tifos action on the sidelines, something which the base game doesn't really cover, and it really adds to that stadium and fan atmosphere, especially on Derby Day. Another cool touch and feature that this mod unlocks included in the Realism package is the ability to unlock all stadiums when you're either creating a new club or you're managing a real club without their stadium in the game. Advancing through this little pop-up menu, the stadium club customization, and once you click through to the home stadium tab, you have access to every single stadium in the game. No questions asked. Even Portman Road, the newest stadium added, making its debut in FC 25. For example, let's just say you wanted to move Union Berlin to the Olympiastadion for a couple of big games in their season, move them to the big stage, attract bigger crowds, and why not be cheeky about it? Completely rename the stadium just to piss off your rivals Hertha. Anything is possible. This is just one little example out of thousands you could pull off. Honestly, the world is your oyster here. You can actually edit custom little details about everything, including what color the seats are. You can completely change up a real world stadium, give Anfield a bit of that dark mode treatment, and just completely revolutionize the stadium for better or for worse. You can edit the stadium color, maybe put your own little spin on it, and just freely experiment and customize real world stadium as you please. Here we can edit literally every everything about Anfield and give it our own little personal touches and flavor to make it feel like we're actually taking over and making it our own, as we can even go down to pinpoint the exact net design we want. Is perfect for not only Creator Club career modes, but just the freedom of stadium relocation or moving into a rival's biggest stadium. Feeling almighty and powerful, considering you don't get to do this on normal base game FC25, and it's just a handy, convenient tool and little add-on that is involved in the Realism Mod. If it wasn't for licenses, if it wasn't for probably like exclusive deals and partnerships with these clubs, I think something like this would already be in the game if EA was bothered to actually put it in. Don't fix your eyes, trust me, we are playing a Bundesliga match at Anfield. Well, forget Anfield now, because it is now called Union's home. Nevertheless, all of our stadium changes are here, the red lines, the new stadium patterns, the new pitch turf surface, and of course, our red and white checkered goal nets with the Bundesliga broadcast package, so you know all the changes have come through. You even get the Union Berlin adboards that pop up on the side. There are no more Liverpool ads at Anfield, and honestly, St. Pauli, bro, their flags are absolutely insane. That's where you love to see that stadium GFX pack in action. You get to see some insane artwork and some fan banners that would probably never make it to the base game of FC. Like the skull and bones, the rock and roll football flag, this badass pirate with the golden tooth skull. St. Pauli really are the hipster's dream. And I mean, credit to Union, they go kind of hard too, I guess. Also, the crowd turnout is realistic too, because considering all the Union fans would have to travel from Berlin, there are quite a few empty seats in the crowd for an opening Bundesliga match. In any case, it's just another example of the Realism Mod providing you with the powers at your fingertips and all the abilities you could ever ask for. Now, the end of the season is upon us in this United Ruben Amorim save, so let's take a look at all the results that went down to see if they're quote-unquote realistic, and to see some new updated quality of life features like new trophy mini pics in the menu that updates the trophy pictures to extremely high render and beautiful images that do these pieces of silverware justice. Like, they are just looking shiny, they are looking absolutely supreme. Every single trophy in the game is looking extra glossy, just giving a sheen, a little metallic update, and they look absolutely fire though. The Champions League final, Real Madrid take it out against Bayern 2-1. The Europa League trophy looks very menacing, so they get a nice little facelift as Manchester United finish in 10th. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, the Realism Mod is cooking with that one, as Leicester City, Fulham, and Ipswich all go down. I don't really see Fulham entrenched in the relegation battle, but Everton, Palace, Wolves, Southampton all survive. We've got Man City coming back from their terrible form, but I think, oh no, this isn't a live start point save. It's just a fresh new season, so it hasn't taken into account real world form, but you've got Spurs in the top 4, Arsenal 3rd, Liverpool 2nd, West Ham and Newcastle 5th and 6th for them respectively, as Brighton crack into the top 10. It was extremely tight in the middle of the table, as the top goal scorer award goes to Erling Haaland by 1 goal. He just beats out Cole Palmer with 25, as Callum Wilson's bagged 20 for Brentford. Chris Wood continuing his real life form with 15, Isaac with 15, Ollie Watkins kind of underperforming low key, and in terms of assists we've got Trent from right back bagging 11, Rodri with 10 considering he wasn't injured for the entire season, so that probably played a massive part in Man City winning the title, just like 19 clean sheets from the Golden Glove winner Edison. Who came up from the championship? We've got Leeds United and Middlesbrough, both killing it, both doing well down in the second tier. Liga actually saw PSG waltz the league just like they're doing in real life, no kind of competition or title race whatsoever. The Bundesliga saw Bayern Munich triumph over Leverkusen on the final day by 1 point. Leverkusen didn't draw all season long, with the exact same wins as Bayern, but that one draw got the Bavarians over the line. Dortmund and RB Leipzig up in the top 4. In a thrilling end to the season over in Serie A, we had Inter win it with a mighty 7-point gap over Milan in second. You've got the usual suspects in the top 6, however down in 10th is Fiorentina. Lazio and Napoli clutch up the top 4 spots, and over in the Eredivisie, what do we have here? PSV with a Centurion undefeated season, 100 points. Have they really got that in them? The Portuguese league, surely Sporting won it. Yeah, Gyökeres up front, only 1 loss all season. Benfica, Braga, and Porto all finish up in the top 4 spots. And how's La Liga shaping up? It is Real Madrid scoring 100 goals on the dot with 107 points collected. Barcelona 9 points off it, as Athletic Bilbao and Atletico Madrid enter in the top 4. Girona knocking on the door just outside in 5th. I'd say the biggest shock is Valencia finishing up in 9th, considering how they're doing in in real life. And the Turkish Super League probably saw Galatasaray win it. Yeah, they were absolutely clinical with another undefeated season going on. Xabi Alonso set the trend last season, now everyone's copying. Now that is what the Realism Mod Alpha, no, not beta, not full release, an early alpha build brings to the table. Let me know all your thoughts on it down in the comments below, and what other new features and quality of life updates would you want the Realism Mod to add over the course of FC25, and for the future, list them down below, and who knows, they might get added into the next version. So give all your feedback and let your opinions be known down below. Would you guys actually cop it and play it on PC? Is it that big of a revolutionary upgrade? If you haven't already, make sure to check out the link in the description to download and join up FIFER's Patreon. Go and support him, he is doing God's work. I am just merely the messenger. I've tried to cover as much as possible, pretty much all the major and minor features that arrive with the package. If you've made it this far and want to see some more mod showcases, make sure to drop the video a like down below. But as always, I've been your boy Sir BCHD. Have a great day, happy modding, merry modmas. I'll catch you lot in the very next video. Bye bye.